Hi, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are live on Zoom, we are live on YouTube, we are live on TikTok. Facebook is coming up in a second. So we are going to have a great time tonight. And we're going to talk about something that all of you want to hear about, which is fat loss. How do you lose fat off your body? It's a never-ending quest that so many persons I've met over many years have had. Not everybody, but it's a very common request, a very common cry for help. Tonight, we're going to try and give you some principles, some simple techniques that have been researched and found to be effective in your, mission, in your mission to lose fat. And, those same techniques help you to keep fat off. So if you're intending to be trim, these same techniques are going to be very helpful. Person, please mute your mic as you come on to help you to keep fat off. All right. So before I get into my talk, I know there are many persons here who would have been a part of my many challenges and definitely want to say how well they did. So I'm going to give person an opportunity in a minute to kind of, say how their experience was and how much weight they lost and what changes they saw. There are persons here who are new. So before I give first an opportunity to speak, I'm going to just introduce to you guys what we've been doing over the past year and odd to help people all over the world lose fat and keep it off. So last year, we introduced what is now well known as the 14-day flat belly challenge. And recently, we introduced the 90-day body reset program. These are two programs aimed at helping you to get healthy in a natural way using proper diet, exercise, supplements, herbal detoxes, and using herbs in a very unique and interesting way to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And most persons who come to our programs come because they have extra weight to lose. Not everybody, some persons come for other things. But over the past year, we have helped over 7,000 persons, close to 10,000 by now, lose weight. And some of them have been able to stay in the program. I've had persons who have lost up to 60 odd pounds and I've kept it up over a year by staying in our program, staying connected. And even sometimes just going on their own, sticking to the principles and would have benefited significantly from the weight loss. I've heard stories, even one lady came and told me that her husband didn't want to join the program. He didn't want to be in the group. He didn't even want to say he was on the program, but he watched what she was doing, did exactly what she was doing, and lost 30 odd pounds in a couple of months, more weight than she had lost by just following the principles that she had. So tonight, some of you may be here, but you have friends and family who might want to benefit from what we're going to talk about. Certainly, you are encouraged to share everything you learned tonight with your loved ones and your friends and the people in your circle so they can be benefiting from your knowledge. It is said that you're going to be the average of the 5 closest people to you, and your weight is going to be about the average of the 5 closest people that are around you. So if you have lots of persons around you who are healthy and slim and trim, guess what? Your chance of being healthy and slim and trim just went up. If you have persons around you who are obese and overweight and who are trying to lose weight and struggling, chances are you're going to struggle and try to lose weight and unable to, because you're going to pick up their bad habits. So make your circle be influenced by you getting slim and trim, by you imparting to them the knowledge that we're going to impart to you tonight. Now, in our challenges, there are some principles. We generally stick to following a diet plan that tends to be one, no sugar, no grain, and we're going to go into why you do that tonight. We tend to do a lot of intermittent fasting, 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, and sometimes full fasting. And that's been very interesting for some persons. Some persons are generally scared about that, but guess what? So many before you have done it and you can do it as well. We tend to use a lot of detoxes. I am big on detox body cleanses. The body naturally detox itself, but we can enhance what our body does by using particular foods, water regimens, and herbs to actually enhance detoxification and get rid of toxins that you're exposed to every single day. So detox has to be an ongoing habit. It can't be once a year. You're ingesting water, you're taking in air, you're putting things on your skin that have toxins. You have to have a process of regular detoxification to keep your body healthy. Otherwise, you're gonna get sick. And also, we have used a community spirit. I find that all persons want to be healthy. All persons at some level know that, okay, if I do these sorts of things, I'll become healthy. But most persons don't have the motivation to start. And when they start, they don't have the discipline to stick to it. We have cracked that code. Tonight, you're going to learn how we do it and learn how we've been able to keep, thousands of people connected and going and going and going over a period of a year to stick to healthy habits tonight. So before I get into what I want to talk about, I'm going to invite persons on our platform here on Zoom to hold up your hand, put up your hand. If you want to tell us briefly in 30 seconds or less how much weight you lost and what other benefits you saw in the 14-day flat belly challenge or in the 90-day challenge so far. So raise your hand, I'll acknowledge you. You want to give your testimony, you want to encourage somebody tonight that, listen, this is something that works and this is something that you can benefit from. So if you're struggling, just stick to it. Raise your hand if you want to give a quick 30-second report as to how the challenges have been going for you, what benefits you have seen, and so somebody can get some encouragement. If you've done it this week, last month, last year, it doesn't matter. Somebody wants to be encouraged by somebody else tonight. Is there anybody to represent tonight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Maria. You want to talk?
No, I don't know how I get unmuted. Sorry.
All right, waiting for a couple testimonials. Anybody at all? If not, we're gonna just move on. There are lots of
I could
persons.
talk, Doc. I don't know if my son will allow me to, but I could talk. All right,
All
good
right.
night, everyone. So, I entered the flat belly challenge last year, say about April. And let me tell you, before the end of the 14 days, I lost over 20 pounds, to be honest. I felt good in that time. Honestly, I felt like my best self. I was active, I could do, and to be honest, I wasn't even with the strict thing. I cheated a little, but the community helped me to keep on track as best as possible. And it was a great experience. And from that experience, going out and people seeing me, they ask what I've done. I've called in other persons on it. I'm sure some of them are online now and they have benefited as well. So it's a good thing. Get on board.
Thank you, Janelle, for representing. Anybody else want to give a quick testimony? All right, I see Kira's hand is up. Go ahead quickly, open your mic, give your quick
Yes.
30-second report.
Thank you. Good evening. Yes, so I started with you in March, and first I lost like 14 pounds in a month. But then I found myself stuck. I couldn't move from that, and I was getting a little frustrated. But then I changed what I did. I used to eat late, like have my first meal sometimes at 1, and then I switched to earlier and finish earlier. And I was like, no, I don't know if I'm going to do the next one. But then this morning, I said, I even stopped weighing because I said, no, this is not working. And I was going to reach out to you. But this morning I went on the scale and I realized I dropped 4 more pounds. So that's
Awesome.
20 total. So I'm remotivated.
All right, so people are losing lots of weight, Janelle 20 pounds in basically a couple of weeks. And we have Kita here losing 20 pounds so far. Simone, your hand is up. Go ahead quickly.
Hi, good night, everyone. So, I joined my first challenge last year, maybe about March. And initially, I lost about 10 pounds. But over the course of a number of challenges, I realized that I lost a little over 20 pounds. And I felt great. I looked the best I looked in years. And, I regressed a bit. So around Christmas time, I started eating the foolishness. And I'm a baker. I love to cook. So, of course, I eat and whatever. But the work that was done before, even when I was eating, I still found that I did not gain back the weight like, you know, just like how I was eating, I didn't gain back the weight like that. I don't think I fully gained back that weight. But anyway, I stopped the challenge for a while and I recently rejoined. And I checked my scale the other day. I lost almost 5 pounds. And within the challenge, there was a challenge of steppers challenge. So people walked and they would report on their steps for the day, and that was over 2 weeks. And I mean, I was in the competition, but not really say doing it for the prize. I mean, there's a bigger prize to get, right? But at the same time, it motivated me to walk, and I felt great. I'm feeling great, you know. So I would encourage people join it, and you won't regret it.
All right. Awesome, Simone. Thank you so much. I'm looking at TikTok here. I'm seeing Accessories Jamaica said, I lost 15 pounds and 5 inches off my waist. Skin is glowing. I'm empowered, feeling confident and disciplined. Another person on TikTok is here saying, well, no, it's the same person here. So this person here spoke 3 times. And there's one more person who has their hand up. Nadine Rodney, you have your hand up, followed by Dean Salmon. Nadine, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, doctor.
Come on, make it quick.
So, yes, may I make it quick, man? So, I've started last year, early December, until date. This morning, when I went on the scale, I'm weighing 176. So, do the maths.
How
It's
much did you
quite
start
a
at?
lot of weight.
How much
And
you started at?
I started 2,
Nadine, you're breaking up. Two what?
230. 230.
230 and you're 176.
Yes, as of this morning.
54
And
pounds you have lost, Nadine.
and I'm feeling real great, doctor. I'm telling you, everyone, there are times but the reason why you started. Remember that your health is also wealth, and that's what keep me going along with the community. And just trying to eat the right food at the right time. Now I can sleep at night. I'm no longer on any melatonin. It's a lot, but I have gained a lot of good health. I'm feeling much more stronger, more healthier. I can see much clearer. I don't have any like high sugar or high cholesterol. But this challenge has helped me tremendously in my health. And also everybody in my household now, my two daughters, my husband, we're all eating healthy.
Awesome, Nadine. Thank you so much. So
So
oftentimes persons come into my office and say, Doc, I'm feeling so sick. I want a new body. And they say it jokingly. But here is a person who have literally gotten a new body, 54 pounds lighter, better eyesight, better energy. She's feeling the best shape of her life in a long time. So yes, you can get a new body if you're willing to put in the work, follow instructions, and be disciplined. There's another hand up,
and
Dean.
I'm down, doctor. I'm down, doctor, from double X to medium.
From
As of
double X to
yesterday when I
medium,
went
you're
to
a
Winners.
completely new
Medium.
person. People who knew you years ago will not recognize you now. So yes, persons, we have an
I'm
offer,
gonna
new
post it in
bodies.
the group.
All right, awesome. Thank you. We love this before and
Thank
after.
you.
Here, post us before
Yes,
and
doctor.
after first.
Sure.
All right, so Dean, go ahead quickly.
Night, everyone. So, I have to represent to the male, because I realize most of the females are giving their testimonial. So, Doc, I don't know I was one of the earliest persons when you just started this thing, and I would have shared my before and after photo, and everybody was amazed when they saw me. But then last year when my wife got pregnant, then it all got haywire. We started to eat late
Patrick,
nights,
eat for
and
two.
everything just went right through the gate. And so I don't know if you remember when you saw me in Jersey. I remember we went on the road at Whole Foods and
Yeah,
those places.
yeah.
I don't think you would really proud of me when you saw me. I had a very big belly in front of me and everything, low energy and everything like that. And my daughter was born February 21st, and I said to myself that for the dedication, I am going to buy a suit that I know could not fit me, 38 regular with a 32 waistbands. And I said to myself that the dedication would have been the 10th of May. And I said to myself in April, I have to fit in this suit, and not just fit in this suit, but I have to look good in this suit. And that was when I took up the challenge, and I started. And I can tell you, my jacket was buttoned. I fit in my pants, and there was room. And I can tell you from 180, I am down now 164. And that was just April. That was just April. And I yesterday I ran 5.5 miles nonstop.
Run.
Before that, in ran five and a
Wow.
half miles I was doing. And I'm running like 8 minutes per mile.
What you say, man?
I could not run a mile back in February without grasping for breath. So I'm just saying that, listen to me, this thing, I am feeling up to myself again. I am upbeat, I am sleeping, I have energy to stay up at night, even at night when the baby is up. So it's doing a whole world of good for me right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dean, for representing. We are inspired, sir. A new kid on the block wants to say something. Memphis, you have testimony already. Go ahead.
Good night, everybody. New kid is right. I'm very tired, so I sound like this. But I just want to say, I know I talk about losing 80 pounds because that is the goal I had set for myself that I want to lose. But I didn't join this program for weight loss. I joined it because when I listen your live, and you talking about the different ailments, um, and I know what my body is experiencing now with going through perimenopause and the buildup of, cortisol and all that stuff. And I can say that I am the new kid. It's my first challenge. Week 1 ended yesterday. Yesterday morning I checked, I lost 4 pounds
In 1 week.
in 1 week. Um, but for me, the biggest win is not the pounds. It's more that now I feel a huge shift in my body where before I was having like a lot of brain fogs. I can see where that's not happening anymore. I also work two jobs. So when I finish the first one at the later part of the morning hours and I come home, I'll be so lethargic. I just want to sleep. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Today I felt like I could run a mile and I wasn't feeling that tiredness anymore, even though I get up extremely early. And my work is very, very demanding physically. So I'm just happy for that, and I can't wait to see what the next 11 weeks is gonna do.
Awesome. So I'm confident, Donna. I would have told you guys confident that you're gonna see amazing things happen. And here, person's 1 week into her first challenge, and she's already able to give a testimony as to what's happening in her body. I'm seeing persons on TikTok asking about how they can join. So let's just give them the information right now. So if you want to join our challenge, you just send a WhatsApp message, right, to this number. Just take the number down. I'm gonna give it very slowly. It's a Jamaican number. So the area code is 876. So it's 876-583-5632. Let me go again, 876-583-5632. Send a WhatsApp number. There's a WhatsApp message to that number saying, Doc, I want to join your challenge. And we'll message you back all the details that you need to be able to join. There is a price for the 3-month 90-day challenge is 99 USD or 15,000 Jamaican dollars. And trust me, people, what you get in value is way beyond that. Persons are gonna in the challenge come off their sugar medication, off their pressure medication, lose 30 and 40 and 50 pounds in 3 months. Person are gonna get rid of their autoimmune diseases. Person are gonna get rid of many diseases in their body and get their skins better. They're gonna get back their energy and get back their erections. This is what this challenge promises. So yes, it might for some people be expensive, but for what you'll get on the medication money that you'll save on the food that you'll save on, it's gonna be absolutely worth it. I see Nikisha hands up. Nikisha, go ahead quickly for your testimony to say how our challenges have benefited you so far. And then I'm gonna go into our lecture tonight. I'm gonna go into some teaching. While Nikisha is coming up with her hand, 876 is the number, 583-5632. 876-583-5632. Nikisha, I'm not seeing a response for you. Let me give you a prompt, Nikisha. There's a prompt coming up on your phone now. All right, Nikisha, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Dr. Thomas, I just want to take the time out to say thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for, I want to give God thanks for your knowledge that you're imparting with us. And I say that because I was introduced to challenges before, and we never ever get a chance to speak with the person in charge of the challenge, not even half of the amount of time that we see you, we hear you. It's like you're always there. And I just want to extend my gratitude. Also, I want to say I did the 14-day flat belly challenge earlier this year. And in 2 weeks, I lost 7 pounds. And that's one of the reasons why whenever I was introduced to the 90-day, I didn't hesitate. Like my friend Andrea, she sent it to me, let's say Monday, and by Tuesday, I paid without second thought. And so far, we went through week 1, and so far, I'm sorry, I'm running the tab. So far, I've lost 2.5 pounds, and I was a bit discouraged when I thought it's only 2.5 pounds. But then when I stopped and I looked at how the difference in my skin and how much I'm able to go through my day, chase after my 5-year-old without going breathless, I mean, it's amazing. And I'm sticking around for the long haul. And again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all those who respond when we can't find the good doctor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I thank you for sharing, Nikisha. Awesome to hear from you. All right, so people, we're going to go into it now. We're going to talk about how do you lose fat off your body. It's a never-ending request, and everybody, old and young, males and females, teachers, doctors, pharmacists, business people, everybody comes to me and asks, how do I lose fat? How do I lose belly fat? How do I lose fat off my legs, my arms? How do I lose fat off my body? Because we all know people that fat, while it may be causing you to look bigger than you should, it also is a metabolically active tissue. Fat on your body does change how your body works. And I'm gonna give you a couple of examples how that happens. Now, fat is not just sitting there. Fat makes things that circulate in your blood. So for men, we know that fat is the source of conversion, or the place where you convert testosterone to estrogen. It's called aromatization. So men who have excessive fat, they'll break down their testosterone to make estrogen. So they lose male hormones and make female hormones instead. So of course, they will have lower sex drive, they'll have male boob, they'll have low energy, they'll have poor concentration, because the main hormone that gives them that drive and energy and give them that muscle strength and bone strength is just not there. Male lose their aggression when they have fat on. Females can make too much estrogen, yes, and that increases your risk of many cancers, because estrogen promotes certain tissues to form cancer. So breast cancers, for example, are going to be more common in women who are overweight for that reason. We know also that fat is a source of toxins. Yes, fat store many fat-soluble toxins in your system, and on different occasions, they get released and result in various metabolic problems, not the least of which is headaches and fatigue and chronic pain. This is well studied. So being fat increases your risk of many chronic illnesses, right? So that's another big issue. Fat also on your body will increase what we call your insulin resistance. So fat on your body makes you more likely to be diabetic, pre-diabetic, have PCOS, while those conditions make you more likely to be fat. But fat on your body makes your insulin not work. Insulin resistance is the root cause for, as I said, cancers, PCOS, diabetes. Yes, it's a root cause for hypertension and high cholesterol. We call it the metabolic syndrome. So heart disease and heart attacks related to fat on your body. So excessive fat on your body, for some people, might be a source of pride. They'll have the right curves and have the right shape, and you may not want to lose all the fat on your body. I get that, but any extra that you can lose is going to make you healthier in those particular areas that I mentioned. So it's not a great idea to have fat, but the worst fat to have is around the tummy. So when we're looking at persons who are obese, we measure abdominal circumference. So your tummy size by itself is a risk factor for heart disease. So if you have fat on your legs, it's not as bad as fat around the tummy. If you have fat on your bottom, not as bad as fat in the tummy. So fat on the tummy is the worst fat to have, because it is so much linked to heart disease and strokes. So we have to understand that fat is not just sitting there, it's actually doing things to your body. It's making you sicker, and it's increasing your risk of so many other diseases. So yes, not just for looks, but for health, you want to lose fat. Now, how do you lose fat? Now, there are going to be like at least 4 things I want to talk about this evening in terms of how do you lose fat. So number 1, right? Let's talk about exercise. Exercise is, I'm talking about it because it's probably the least efficient way to lose fat. Let me start there with the lowest on the rank. So exercise is not the best way to lose fat. In fact, to lose 1 pound of fat, you're going to have to burn 3,500 calories. If you run for an hour, you're probably going to burn about 300 calories. So you're going to run for 10 hours, yes, to lose 1 pound of fat. So running isn't the best way to lose fat. So that maybe is a myth. So you're not going to go to the gym, eat what you want, and expect to lose weight rapidly. It's not going to happen. It's going to be very slow, if at all. And I've seen people in the gym working out on the treadmill, doing the weights, and they're still overweight. They're not, and they're frustrated. So don't try to exercise your way to having less fat on your body. Don't try to do abs to get abdominal muscles. That's not how it's done. No, exercise is good. It's very important. You can't be exercising. You can't be fit and healthy without exercise. Exercise will help you definitely to have stronger muscles. Will help you definitely to be fitter and have more exercise tolerance. Help you to be able to, as you heard, run behind your 5-year-old and even your 2-year-old, which is probably worse, right? To help you to be able to do things at home, climb stairs and so on, stay up late and get your work done, and it boosts blood flow to your brain. So exercise is very important, but it does cause some fat loss, but not a lot. So that's one. That's one of the simple ways that you can employ to lose fat, but you can't do exercise alone. You have to then look at what are the foods you eat that may cause you to put on fat and avoid them, and what are the foods you're going to eat to lose fat. So there are foods in both categories, right? So listen up, people. When we're looking at fat loss, foods that will make you put on fat are foods that are going to send your insulin up. So that's the process. So insulin is a fat storage hormone. So when your insulin goes up, you're going to store fat. So any food that sends your insulin up is going to let you store fat. No, that's a lot of food, to be precise. That's a lot of carbohydrates, lots of fruits, lots of healthy foods. Almost every food is sending insulin up. So we can't avoid every food. So we're going to now pick the ones that are going to be sending insulin up faster. So the ones that are higher glycemic. So every food can impact insulin in some way, even meat, right? So we're not going to avoid every food. We're going to avoid the foods that are worse, the ones that send the insulin up the fastest. And number one on the list has to be sugar. Sugar is the number one food that's going to send your insulin up. So if you're trying to lose weight, trying to keep weight off, you're definitely going to be avoiding foods that are high in sugar. Or I try to tell my challengers, avoid sugar completely. So refined sugar, like brown sugar, white sugar, syrup, and the different kind of natural sweeteners, artificial or natural, whether it be honey or agave, these things contain sugar, they contain sucrose, they contain things that will break down into glucose, which will stimulate insulin in your body. And once that happens, you're going to store fat. So you don't want to be doing that at all. You want to be avoiding sugar, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Now, we live in a real world, and I know that there are going to be special occasions on which you're going to have something sweet every now and then. But let it be a special occasion. Let it be a every now and then. And in our challenges, we have that every 2 weeks. So once every 2 weeks, you get to have a little fun if you love things that are sweet. Some persons like me choose not to. Occasionally I do, but it's very rare. But in your day-to-day routine of eating, you have to learn that sugar is not your friend in your quest to lose weight. So even though you love it, you want to find out a way how you can get rid of that sweet tooth, that addiction to sugar. And you will hear from our challengers in future, and you could talk to them now and find out that, guess what, once they start the challenge, once they do the detox, once they start getting in their salt in the morning, you'll find that they begin to see less and less sugar cravings, right? We're talking about processed and natural sugar. So we tend to recommend persons avoid honey, avoid agave, because those are still sugar. They have benefits. Honey is very beneficial, right? Honey is very beneficial, but use on a regular basis and use when you're trying to lose weight is counterproductive. So guess what? If you have a cold or a flu, of course, some honey with your flu balm is perfectly fine. Yeah. If you're trying to treat some other infections in your intestine, some honey in your tea might be beneficial. But on a regular basis, for persons who are trying to lose weight, trying to get their blood sugar down, this is nonsense. It will not lead to the result you want. It will lead to the opposite. Now, there are some foods that may not contain sugar, but have the equivalent effect on your body's natural insulin production. And these foods are going to be primarily from wheat. So things like white bread, crackers, bagels, croissants, sugar buns, bolas, cakes, whether it be black forest, red velvet. These foods, apart from just containing sugar, they contain flour, which is made from wheat. And this contains a string of pearls. We call them sugar molecules string together. They call it starch. So starch is basically sugar joined together. When it's joined together in long chains, it doesn't taste sweet, but it's no different. When you digest it, all you get is sugar. So it sends your sugar up just as much as sugar does. In fact, one of the researches I've seen shows that bagels, for example, send your sugar up faster than sugar itself. How does that work? Why would that happen? Well, flour products contain an additional component called gluten. So gluten is the protein found in wheat. And gluten has a particular effect on the intestine, which is quite problematic. Gluten damages your intestinal lining. It breaks up those zonulin proteins and opens up the pores in your intestinal tract, allowing things to be absorbed even faster. So imagine if you eat a piece of bread which contains starch, which is just sugar molecules, and gluten. The sugar molecules get released when the starch is digested. The pores are opened up, so sugar now rush into your system. So bagels and certain types of pastries are worse for your blood sugar than even sugar itself. And so if you're trying to lose weight, trying to control diabetes, trying to get your cholesterol down, trying to avoid cancer, you will not be able to eat these foods and stay healthy. It's just nonsense. So even wheat flour is the same thing. There are a number of other grains that are going to be very close behind flour in this effect on your insulin. And those grains are going to include, yes, I'm going to call the name oatmeal. So refined oats especially is going to be worse. So in terms of oats, refined oats is worse, and you have like, old-fashioned oats, and then you have at the bottom steel-cut oats, which is probably like the best oats to have if you're going to have oats at all. But if you're trying to lose weight and trying to get blood sugar down, for the sake of God, avoid the oats. If you are diabetic, I challenge you to go and have some oatmeal now and check your sugar to all it and see the sugar spike. It will spike your sugar regardless of the fact that oats contain fiber and is said to lower cholesterol. Yes, every food will have some benefit, but for your blood sugar and your weight, oatmeal is not great. Sugar has a glycemic index of 100. Oatmeal is 87. Way up on the scale, it spikes your blood sugar. Rice is not as bad as oatmeal, but it is in the 60s and 70s, depending on which rice you get. So the best rice may be like things like bulgur or real whole grain brown rice. Those glycemic index are in the 50s and 60s. If you're going to go for white rice, it's in the 60s and 70s. So rice is a problem, not just because it contains starch, but because it contains certain types of gluten, which does the same thing that wheat does. Corn, the same thing. Corn gluten is called zein. That also opens your pores. And so we find that grains across the board are going to be some of the worst offenders when it comes to raising your blood sugar, raising your insulin, and putting weight on. And everybody who I've told to avoid these foods for a few weeks, they would have seen, wow, I didn't know that these foods that I thought were healthy were so problematic. So there are some persons who can eat rice and they're fine. You're not diabetic, you have no weight on and so on. Fine, you can eat a little rice now and then. But if you're going to be having rice on a regular basis and you're trying to lose weight, you are going to be clutching at straws. Somebody's asking about quinoa on TikTok here. Quinoa and buckwheat and teff falls in the category of what we call pseudo grains. So they don't contain gluten and the starch content are very low. So they don't spike your sugar as much. So their glycemic index is in the 40s, which is considered low. So these can be part of a healthy diet for persons who are trying to lose weight. So if you really want some rice taste in something, yes, buckwheat, quinoa, teff are gonna be foods that may be part of a healthy diet. Those do not send your sugar up very high. Those do not send your sugar up very high. And so, my God. So sorry guys. These foods do not send your sugar up very high. So you're gonna find out that you can have small amounts of them. Next on the list are gonna be. Hold on, first, please mute your mic, please, guys. All right, guys. So on the list of foods that we find that send your sugar up very high, are gonna be a lot of processed foods. So foods that are processed to remove the natural fiber that they contain. So they may not necessarily be grains, but some of them are. So when we're eating foods, we tend to go for whole foods. The more processed food is, the likely is that they would take the fiber out, sometimes take the fat out so it doesn't spoil, and what you have left is carbohydrate. So if you see a food that is marked low fat, that food likely has a high carbohydrate content and is going to spike your blood sugar. So years ago, there was this war on fat. Fat was the worst thing you could ever eat, and everything was coming low fat milk. Studies have shown that that's old data. That's not true. That was false analysis. Fat is not your enemy. Sugar is your main enemy. And you want to basically be anything that says low fat or low or no fat. It means that it is a more inferior version of the food rather than a superior version. So if you like milk, just buy the milk and don't bother buying a low fat milk. The low fat milk is gonna have more lactose and less fat, which actually the dairy fat might be good for some people. And in terms of using fat for cooking, the recommendations based on research is that you use olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, or butter or ghee, as opposed to vegetable oils and margarines, which are worse. Anyway, back to foods that will help your blood sugar. Now, there are foods that are going to bring your insulin down when you eat them. These foods have the opposite effect of grains. And these foods have special nutrients in them that you will find that will accelerate your weight loss. So one is a food that we call string beans. String beans or string peas is a very healthy food for diabetics because it reduces insulin resistance and reduces your blood sugar when you consume it. Yes, it does. Another common food that I use is probably more like a spice. It's called cinnamon. Cinnamon is a food that if you're trying to lose weight, trying to get your blood sugar down, it's going to be a healthy tea or a cold beverage to have on a regular basis. These are two of the top foods and herbs. Another one is something we call fenugreek. Fenugreek, you can check that out. That is something that will bring your blood sugar down. And somebody's mentioning PCOS. PCOS also is helped by something called berberine. These are herbs that will bring your blood sugar down. So you may be able to cheat a little bit and use these foods and these herbs to keep your blood sugar in check so your insulin doesn't spike and so you don't store fat. Right, guys? Now, in addition to those kind of things, you want to look at what are the replacements for the grains that you should be having. So let me go. No, I think I left those. I think I have a couple of things. Let me go and get something for you guys. Let me show you something. All right, great. I got some goodies here. All right, so guys may be talking about like, so Doc, I love dumpling, I love flour, I love baked stuff. What am I gonna do? There are some alternatives. So I have like 5 different alternatives here. No, 4 alternatives. This is coconut flour, right? This is coconut flour. Yeah, it doesn't contain gluten, but it can be used to do various things that you like cupcake, cookies, and biscuits and cakes. Coconut flour, the flour that is low glycemic and can be used in your cooking. You can even knead this up with some rye plant to make your dumplings. That's how much you can use natural foods. This one is cassava flour. Cassava is a very starchy food, but it has lots of fiber. And when you use it to make bami, guys, bami is made from getting the starch out of the cassava. It's left with just the trash. These are healthy alternatives to having grains in your diet. Another one is here, sweet potato flour. Yep. So sweet potato has been used to make flour, and this is going to be loaded with fiber, lots of beta carotene, lots of iron and calcium and magnesium is in this food. So this is sweet potato flour. And this is garbanzo flour. Garbanzo beans make flour, and you can use these to bake. You can put garbanzo flour in your smoothies. Sweet potato flour, it's already cooked. It can go in your smoothies. So you can actually put this in your smoothies if you want to get a little extra calories. If you're one of those who want to gain weight, yeah, you probably can put this in here to give your calories a little extra. We can get this flour. You get them at supermarkets. I think I've seen them at supermarket in Portmore in Sovereign Village. You can get them online. You can get, this one is made by Green Hills. Green Hills is a health food store chain that they have a branch in Sovereign Center, a branch in Mandeville, the branch in Portmore closed down. They have branches all over the island. And so Green Hills packaged coconut flour. I'm trying to see a number on here. So Green Hills, a number if you call them, and I'm not associated with them, is 988-3199. You can call them to get from them. This one is Nella's Rethinking Food, and Nella's is I'm not seeing a number on Nella's here, but you can Google Nella's Rethinking Food. And which other brands I'm seeing here? This is Gold Seal. This does look Jamaican. This one looks over one foreign. So yes, guys. So apart from those, you have lots of other staples you can have as alternatives. So you can definitely have your yams and your sweet potatoes and your bananas and your breadfruit, and you can have your pumpkin, can have your vegetables and your fruits. Now, fruits is gonna be a problem here for some people. So fruits are generally high glycemic. There are some fruits that are low glycemic and some that are medium. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to avoid the fruits that are going to be high glycemic. They are fruits that are going to send your sugar up very fast. So this is going to fall in the category of one, dried fruits. So dried fruits like dates and raisins are going to be high glycemic. So you want to basically like avoid or use very small amounts of these. Fruits like mangoes, pineapples, and melons, these foods fall in the high glycemic category. So while they are healthy and while they have nutrients and while they can help you to be healthier, having lots of these foods, especially mangoes, 3, 4, 5 mangoes, gonna spike your sugar and make you put on weight. You're gonna put on fat because sugar will go up and you will concomitantly have a high insulin level. So you want to reduce your intake of sweet fruits and go for foods that are not so sweet. The best fruits to have are gonna be one, your berries. So every berry is gonna be nice, delicately flavored, not sweet. Do not send your sugar up. So your strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, mulberry, your cherries, those are low glycemic. In Jamaica, we have guava, which is a protein fruit, right? We have avocados, which is in fact a fruit. So these fruits are going to be the top fruits you can have. In Caribbean, we have ackee. That's a fruit. You can have that also as a means of getting your fruit intake, getting in all the nutrients from fruits without getting that sugar spike, right? Your other fruits like Jamaican Otaheite apple, excellent. High fiber, high nutrients, low glycemic, does not send your sugar up, as opposed to the American counterparts. The American apples, the green ones tend to be better. They go well with your celery and your greens in your smoothies, but don't necessarily go heavy on these, right? You're gonna go for more things like your the kiwi is high glycemic, by the way. Kiwi can send your sugar up. So you're gonna have kiwi, small amounts. Kiwi is expensive, so most persons don't have the kiwi. But try to avoid the very sweet foods. In Jamaica, we have like nice berries. Those are very sweet. Try to go easy on those. It's mango time. No, I said mangoes already. Go half a mango or one mango. If you can't resist, then just go none at all. I've been resisting for a while. I love Julie, but I've had to resist because I'm watching my waistline because I gotta represent. You know, I can't come up here with no big belly. Belly have to flat, right? I cannot be saying flat belly. So I've had to discipline myself to have the fruits that are gonna be keeping my tummy flat. So I'm telling you what I do, what I've worked for all the people who work along with me. So you gotta choose your foods carefully. Now, in addition to this, you're gonna go for other foods that are low glycemic. So the low glycemic foods are, if you're not vegan, so your fish and different kind of meats are gonna be low glycemic. Those do not send the sugar up very fast. Your vegetables are all low glycemic, except maybe if you're gonna talk about beets and carrots, you gotta go easy on those. But every other vegetable is gonna be awesome to give you nutrients and not send your sugar up. Your nuts are low glycemic, packed with fats, packed with protein, low carbohydrate. Your legumes are not so great as nuts. Legumes do have a lot of carbohydrates, so legumes should be consumed in moderate amounts. Yes, your peas and beans have a lot of starch in them and they can send the sugar up too, but they have lots of fiber to balance that out. So, you know, your nuts and seeds, finally, your grains. The grains probably going to be the most nutrient dense foods. So we're talking about, not grains, sorry, seeds, not grains, seeds. Your seeds. So we're talking about like flax seed, chia seed, hemp seed, sunflower seed, sesame seeds. These seeds are going to be really low glycemic, packed with nutrients. So when you have these foods, right, you're gonna find that these foods are gonna give you nourishment and not have any negative impact on you. I rarely ever if all see seed allergies. I see nut allergies, yes. I see fruit allergies, yes, from citrus and so on. But seeds, they don't send any sugar up. They don't give you any negative effects. They nourish you. They keep you satiated. So seeds may be the number one foods that you should have every single day. They will trump meat and vegetables and fruits in terms of nutrient density and their ability to keep you satiated, give you omega-3. So for me, seeds are going to be some of my top foods. I put them in my smoothies almost every single day. I have a list of seeds right in my kitchen right there. My favorite are going to be my hemp seed, my chia seed, my flax seed. Those are never out of my house. And those go in my smoothies, which you guys can follow the channel to get access to those kind of recipes. So guys, we're talking about fat loss for those who are just joining. People are still joining. We're talking about what foods you should eat, what you should be doing to lose fat. We said exercise is very inefficient. You do that for muscle gain, for strength, for longevity, just for exercise tolerance and for fitness, but not for weight loss, not for fat loss. Exercise is very inefficient. You have to exercise for 10 hours to lose 1 pound of fat. So that's not very efficient, right? Now, we also said that you should avoid consumption of sugar and grains like rice and flour and oats and cornmeal, because those are going to be high glycemic. We're saying you should consume lots of herbs like cinnamon and berberine, right? And consume foods like string beans, because these will drop your blood sugar by dropping your insulin, sorry. And this will cause you not to store fat. We also said you should try to consume more staples, whole foods, not processed. Processed foods remove fat and fiber out of the food and leave you with the carbohydrate to send your sugar up, send insulin up, and cause you to gain weight. You don't want to do that. Now, people have been following me, so please follow so you can get access to my videos that I do on fat loss, and there are many of them. Also, we are in the middle of our 90-day body reset program for persons who want to lose weight, get your blood sugar control, get your blood pressure down, come off medication literally. You want to get your cancer care on track to help to prevent the cancer from coming back, or even to treat the one you're having now. You want to get your PCOS control to get that baby you've been looking for. Yes. You want to also get your autoimmune disease into remission, your rheumatoid arthritis, your lupus, your multiple sclerosis. All that is going to be done right here in our challenge. And you can join by sending a message, Doc, I want to join your 90-day challenge, to the number. I'm going to give a number again. People on TikTok asking for it. 876-583-5632. I'm going to repeat one more time. 876-583-5632. So you can send a message tonight to get access to that challenge so you can begin the process of healing. And if you were able to join at the top of the hour, you would have heard many persons give their testimonials as to what change they're seeing in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year of following this healthy lifestyle. Now let's continue. Fat loss. Now, apart from what to eat, when you eat is very important. And to get a really big explanation of this, there's a book I recommend. It's called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. That book is a groundbreaking book in terms of what we're going to talk about now, which is intermittent fasting. So you have been told that you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have been told that you're diabetic, you should eat 4 times a day, 5 times a day, eat 3 meals plus snacks in between. People, listen to me. I don't care who told you this, but this is bad advice. That's not what the science shows. Common sense doesn't show that if you want to lose weight, you're going to eat less often. If you want to have lower blood sugar, you eat less often. You want to have a good immune system, eat less often. You want to have a good digestive system, eat less often. You want to be healthy, eat less often. So the recommendation for everybody, regardless of, well, for adults, kids should eat 3 times a day or 2 times, but adults should eat 2 times a day, 1 time a day, and sometimes no time. So let's get into it. Now, the whole idea of intermittent fasting is that in order to burn fat, you cannot have access to other sources of energy in your body. Your body will burn fat as a last resort. It's a storage, and it's called on when every other option for food or energy runs out. So that only happens, you only run out of other stuff when you stop eating for a while. Because if you're eating constantly, food is coming in, you will never burn fat. You'll never burn fat because you have access to glycogen, blood sugar in your blood. You have access to triglycerides in your blood because you just ate 6 hours ago. It takes about 12 hours to run out of food you ate and glycogen stored. It's after 12 hours of not eating that you begin to burn fat. So intermittent fasting is the only logical way to burn fat, right? It's a logical way to burn fat and keep it off long term. What we mean is this, that you have 2 meals within a short eating window. Your eating window should be between 6 to 8 hours. We go overdrive in our challenge, so we do 6 hours eating window. So you have 2 meals a day separated by 6 hours. And I'm giving the explanation of them so you understand why we do these things and why they work. So after eating your breakfast at 8 a.m. and your lunch at 2 p.m., you then have to wait until 8 a.m. the next morning, 18 hours later, to have your next meal. What it means is that after having your meal at 2 p.m., yes, your lunch, in 12 hours after that is 2 a.m. By 2 a.m. in the night when you're sleeping, you'll have run out of all that food you ate. So your body then has to turn on to fat burning at 2 a.m. when you're sleeping. And you will burn fat to keep you alive until 8 a.m. the next morning. So yes, your tummy fat will go down. You will see miracle happen, but it's not miracle, it's just common sense. It's understanding how the body works and then using just common sense to say, okay, this is how I burn fat. I don't burn fat when I have syrup and bread and rice and dumpling in my system. I don't burn it even when I have nuts in my system. And that's why we say don't snap, right? So intermittent fasting is a sure way to lose fat constantly. So persons on my challenge who are losing 50, 60 pounds, they're losing it effortlessly without any Ozempic, without any pills, because they are following a common sense protocol of when to eat. Knowing when to eat is key to you losing fat. Your insulin tanks and you don't store any fat and you now begin to burn fat. So we're approaching fat burning from the 2 major points where it actually does work. So we also do 1 meal a day where you have 1 meal in 24 hours. That means that in that 24 hours, you're going to fast for 23 hours. 12 hours of which you're using what you just ate. The other 11 hours, you're burning fat. So you see, when you eat 1 meal a day, it's going to be more efficient to burn fat because you have 11 hours uninterrupted of your body scavenging the fat cells to get what they have. So the fat of a tummy is going to go. It has to go if you are diligent and you're honest with following the principles of the program. So 1 meal a day. And then here's where it comes even better. We have a 1 day every 2 weeks when you have no meals at all. That is called 1 day fast. So you have no calories in that day. You are allowed to drink water, tea. If you're a coffee person, which I'm not, you can drink your coffee. No sweetener, no milk, so no calories. You can keep hydrated. You can have your vitamins. You can have your pink salt, your Celtic sea salt in your water to get your minerals. And in that 24 hours, when you're not eating, yeah, and you can do longer, you're actually burning fat. Now, in the 90-day, here's what's going to happen, guys. In the first month, you're going to get to do a 1 day fast. Don't get scared now. In the second month, you're going to get to do a 2-day fast. And in the third month, you'll get to do a 3-day fast. So all of who worried about losing weight in the first month, the last month, you're going to lose even more weight because we're going to ramp up and we're going to graduate you to a higher level of fasting. No, don't worry. Jesus did 40 days. And you're going to say, it's Jesus. It's me, not Jesus. No, you're not. But Jesus was human just like us. He has a body. And we have found that when you're fasting, the most challenging part of it is the first 2 days. After 2 days, your body switches to fat burn fully and your hunger goes, your energy level goes up, your everything just turns so different. Your brain gets clear. Do you have brain fog? So I did 3-day fasting and I didn't die. I had a person in my challenge a couple of years ago did 14 days water fast I don't see her on tonight. Tamara's not on tonight. And she lost 20 odd pounds in the 14 days. Tommy went down from 34 to 20. I think it was like 28. And it's been maintained to this day. Yes, the bottom did go down a little bit too much. But to her credit, she went back to the gym and built it up back, right? So those are techniques to help you lose weight fast. Yes, you can lose fat fast without needing to take any chemicals into your body. So Pearsons are now, Ozempic is kind of dropping off. You know, when everything comes out, it's novel, it's kind of exciting. So we found Ozempic to be somewhat effective in losing moderate amounts of weight, but what you lost with Ozempic wasn't fat. You didn't know that. We're losing more muscle than fat. So when you come off Ozempic, what you have is a lower muscle mass, a lower metabolic rate, and so your weight gain is much faster. It's not a great way to lose weight. Yes, maybe to get to a wedding dress and then get fat afterward, fine, but it's not a sustainable way to lose weight. You cannot keep taking these things in your body over and over again. You need to eat proper food at the right time. That's how you lose fat. So for those of you on different places on YouTube, please follow the page. On TikTok, please follow the page so you can know when I'm going live again. And for our 90-day challenge, which you can join anytime. We have new people joining every single day and starting their challenge every Monday. So every Monday, a new cohort of person will start their 90-day body reset. 90-day body reset is my interpretation and my putting together, a team of persons and a body of knowledge to help you to get from where you are to health. It doesn't matter what's wrong with you. And I'm going to put in a plug here, guys. Today, I just sat with two of my patients, and we're going to be putting together a new challenge soon. This one is going to be exciting. I'm just making the announcement now because I like to tell things out in the open. When I put it out in open, I have to do it because I've said it, right? So yes, guys. So coming soon, we're going to have an autism challenge. So yes, that's been set in stone. This is going to happen. And we're going to start, I'm going to start to put the elements together for that. So do you have a child who is autistic? Do you know someone with autism child who's struggling to find answers? Yeah? Guess what? We are going to be putting together something awesome, research-based to use natural foods, remedies, probiotics, different techniques, and a group support system to help parents to know how to get their child better. We're not doing it just to treat them well and to get them to eat proper food. We are going for the big result. We want to see kids get better. It has been done and it will be done. So if you're really one of those prayer warriors, pray up that program now. Pray that program up. People are suffering and want results. And we're going to dial up heaven. We're going to dial up the studies. We're going to look at the research. We are going to put together a autism challenge for all of those kids everywhere in the world. So that's going to come soon. So look out for that. That's the first time I'm saying this publicly, even though it's been written down from months ago, but it's going to happen soon. So look out for that one. But for now, we have the 90-day body reset challenge that's going on. People are still joining. And you can join to actually get your diabetes reversed, your hypertension reversed.
You never send on the clothes, the uniform, them.
No, Archer, man, sure. All right. So guys, autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, lupus, psoriasis, eczemas. We are tackling that right now. Diabetes, hypertension, cancers, weight loss. We're gonna be tackling post-stroke. Right now, we are doing that right now. So you want to join, you have a friend, you have any of those diseases, yeah? You can join our 90-day body reset challenge and get your body reset. We can give you a completely new body by telling you what to do, showing you how to do it, and holding your hand to make sure it's done. What could be more easy? All your doctors tell you, you need to lose weight, you need to exercise more, but On your own, it's very challenging. You're not too sure what to do. You're so many voices talking, but here is a program that's tried, tested, and proven. And we're going to guide you and we're going to help you to get to where you want to go by showing you step by step, day by day, menu item by menu item, juice by juice, glass of water by glass of water, step by step. We're going to take you through a 90-day process of body transformation. And already you've seen after 1 week, persons are saying that I'm losing weight, my skin is better, my energy is up. After 1 week, imagine the miracles we'll hear of in 12 weeks when we're back here. But we're going to be here every week. We're going to come back every week to report to you, get the testimonies, and get you excited. So to join, you just dial me up. Sorry, send a WhatsApp message to the number 876. I'm going to be slow again because they keep asking to repeat. 876, right? 583 5632. The Jamaican number. 876 583 5632. Already, our program has been translated into French because we have people from France in the program. People from Britain, people from England, yeah, people from Canada, Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, Nigeria, Kenya, already in our 90-day body reset program. So it doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what station in life you are, rich or poor. We have poor people in the program, we have millionaires in the program, we have women in the program, men in the program, we have doctors in the program, we have housewives in the program. It doesn't matter. This program works for everybody. It doesn't matter color of your skin, white, black, Indian, Chinese. It doesn't matter. The principles of how your body operates are the same, and we have seen the results over and over again. Now, it's time for me to answer some questions. It's now coming on to 8:41. We're gonna wrap this up at about 9 o'clock, right? So I'm gonna ask persons in WhatsApp. Somebody is monitoring for me on YouTube, I think. Don't know if anybody in here can check on YouTube for me and tell me if there are questions there. I can't monitor all of these different platforms at one time. If I can, I'll go over there in a second. So we're gonna take TikTok first and answer about 5 questions here. Will your program work for acid reflux? Absolutely. That's kind of a very low-hanging fruit. Acid reflux is gonna be helped. If you have IBS, though, is really what I'm going after. If you have chronic gas and bloating and abdominal pain, if you have irritable bowel syndrome, yes. If you have inflammatory bowel disease like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, yes, the program will help for that. It's targeted at fixing your gut, fixing your liver, your kidney, your brain, reducing inflammation, improving blood flow, helping your heart. Yes, so if you have heart disease, if you have had a heart attack, you have blocked arteries, yes, this program is the right program for you. Metabolic syndrome, any disease in metabolic syndrome, this program is going to be low glycemic, whole foods based, natural herbs, exercise that's tailored for you. What we find, guys, is that modern medicine tends to treat symptoms of disease. I was trained like that. So if you have diabetes, you get sugar medication. If you have pressure, you get pressure medication. If you have arthritis, you get arthritis medication. You have lupus, you get some steroids and other things. What we're doing is not that. What we're doing is saying there are reasons for your diseases, and the reasons may be due to stress. We're addressing that in the challenge. Poor quality foods, you're addressing that. Toxins in your body, we're getting them out. Yeah. No exercise, we're getting that in. Poor sleep, we're gonna target that in the challenge. When we modify or we address these modifiable lifestyle factors, we don't just treat one disease. We get your entire system working well. I don't care if you have diabetes. I don't need to know what you have. If you follow simple instructions, you will get well. And so while I ask and I do things tailored for particular persons, there are some principles that if you follow them, no matter what you have, you're going to see improvement, right? One of the things that you'll come across in the program is a supplement we call a Cure All. That will come up in month 2. That has been shown over and over again to benefit your gut, your joints, your brain, give you energy. I'm going to introduce you guys to the supplements that really work. I'm going to give you the secrets because I've told persons over and over again, listen, why would I continue to just sit in my office talking to one patient at a time when I can come on here and talk to 500 of you in the challenge, talk to 1,000? You know, it's far more beneficial. A lot more people need this knowledge. And so that's what we're doing. Sharing knowledge far and wide so more people can benefit. So whatever you learn in the challenge, go and give it to your whole family for free. It's my gift to you. Tell your whole community for free. My gift to you, no problem. I want people to be better. I want you all to be well. I want to have wherever I go, I can get healthy foods because people are buying healthy foods and they don't want no junk. So all the restaurants, switch to healthy foods. So when I go to London, I should be able to go to any shop and get a nice smoothie because it's in demand because my challengers are going there and asking. That's what I want. When I go to Paris, I can get healthy food. When I go to Cambodia, I can get healthy food because I have people who are in challenges in these places. That's what I want. I want to change lives by the thousands and by the hundreds of thousands. And we're starting with you. 1, 2, 3, 100, 1,000, 10,000. That's where we're going to go. Anyway, question time. TikTok. What you say no? Type the number. No, we cannot type the number in the chat here, people. Do not type in the number. TikTok will lock down the live. Them say no phone number. I can speak it, but I can't type it apparently. The number is 876-583-5632. Somebody asked me, what about hypoglycemia? Hypoglycemia is when your blood sugar is low. You'll get that if you're taking too much medication. So just take less. Too much insulin, just take less. If you're pregnant, it can go low. So have the baby. But yeah, maybe eat a little more, but that's not a serious disease. That's just a symptom of something else, right? I'd love for you to discuss gut health next time. All right. Cost for the program, 99 USD. Yeah, 99 USD for the program for 3 months. That's a one-time payment. There are part payment options, but we'll get to that when we get into the challenge. I have PCOS, I have a sweet tooth. I need your help. No problem. Join the program. We'll give you a detox and nutrients to get rid of a sweet tooth. So people who have a sweet tooth, here's what's causing it. Couple of things. One, infections in your gut, particularly candida. Candida infections in your gut can lead to chronic yeast infections, yeah, brain fog, fatigue, but a sweet tooth is one result. Okay, have skin rashes. Second, nutrient deficiency. Deficiency in chromium, deficiency in even magnesium can make you crave sweets. So you want to make sure that you're nutrient sufficient, and that's taken care of in what we give you to eat. We give you foods that will make sure that you have sufficient nutrients, so your sweet tooth will go. We give you a detox to get rid of candida, so your sweet tooth will go. Sweet tooth is really an addiction. It's just like cocaine or alcohol. You get a substance that gives you a dopamine hit. Dopamine makes you feel good. You don't have it. Dopamine drops. You feel sad and down. You think about, you crave for that good feeling, so you go for it and get the hit. And each time you gotta go for a higher and higher dose. It's the same thing. You can be addicted to sex, cocaine, tobacco, marijuana, anything, sugar, bread, addiction to dopamine. When you understand that this is a chemical in your brain that's been released, when you have these foods, you learn that, oh, I can do something else to get that same high that's healthy for me. You know me get my high? Gym. Yeah, gym giving my high. That's why I get my kicks. Go to the gym, work out. When I finish here, upstairs, 100 pull-ups, 15, 15, 15. I'm going to get my dopamine tonight. No sugar needed, no cocaine, no alcohol, no marijuana, exercise. That's one. There are many other ways to get your dopamine. So get dopamine from healthy sources, and you have the same amount of fun as a guy drinking alcohol. I don't drink alcohol to get my dopamine, right? All right. What's good for detoxing? Well, lots of things. So if you're detoxing from gut issues, then you're gonna be doing your aloe vera and your turmeric and your garlic and definitely your ginger. Right? If you're gonna detox from liver, you're gonna talk about milk thistle and beetroot juice and carrot juice and celery and cilantro. You're gonna do kidney detox. There's a lot of different set of herbs for that, dandelion and lots of water and cranberry. And I do blood detox. There's a whole host of things. So detox is, depends on what you're detoxing from. And in the challenge, detoxing everything, right? We're doing all of that step by step. So those were in the challenge. That's what we're doing, and that's why we're doing it. All right, so one more question from TikTok, and then move over to YouTube. What about perimenopause? Yeah. So there's a hormone part of our challenge, which is gonna persist to the end for women who are going through menopausal symptoms. There are specific nutrients for that. Because women who are in menopause tend to be nutrient deficient. There are specific herbs for that which balance your estrogen levels and your progesterone levels. like your wild yam, wild Chinese yam, like your evening primrose oil, your black cohosh, your dongqua, your chaseberry. All of these are going to be part of the challenge. So men, if in the challenge you have no menopause problem, there's going to be a part where some men just hold a corner right now. This is a woman time. So women who are in menopause, yes, join the challenge. We have a part of it that's just for you, but every part will benefit you. All right. Can a child be autistic and hear but cannot talk? Of course. Lots of autistic kids are not able to communicate verbally. They can hear and sometimes respond, with gesticulations. They can communicate with movements, but they can't verbalize what they want to say. They are kind of locked in. It's very frustrating. So yes, so autistic is a problem with communication skills, and it can be really mild or really severe. All right, so we're gonna jump over to YouTube now. Let me see if I can get my YouTube up. Do I have YouTube on here? Yes.
I'm not seeing any question in YouTube as yet.
All right. Great. So we're gonna jump over. Frustrating. So yes, so autistic is a. All right, so we're jumping back over to our Zoom platform now. And I see Donna problem with communication skills, and it can be really mild or really severe. All right, so we're gonna jump over to YouTube now. Let me see if I can get my YouTube up. All right, guys, so we are gonna take Donna's hand for our question. Donna, go ahead. I'm seeing lots of comments in the chat on Zoom. So Donna, go ahead and look at the chat and see what's going on there.
Just one question, Doc, regarding the milk thistle for this week. The one that I have, it says take 2 once per day. So because you had it twice, like in the morning and when we have our juice in the evening, I just wanted to know how I would break that down. Do I take double the portion or take 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening?
Yeah, so it's maximum is 2 for the day. So if you're gonna take that particular one, and you still take morning and evening, you could take it both at once, but do not exceed 2 for the day.
Okay.
All right, great. All right, so I'm looking at the chat to see if there are any questions therein. Let me just scroll down to the bottom of the chat here. Let me see. All right, people are just making some comments. There aren't really any questions here. All right. What about if you have a navel hernia? All right, no, the chat, I've gotten that question before. So the detox, the program does not address surgical issues like a hernia. Hernia is gonna be a surgical issue that needs to be fixed surgically. So yeah, you could reach out to us at the same number, and we can get you to one of our surgeons to get that hernia fixed. But no, that's not an appropriate condition for which you'll join the challenge. What can I get at the pharmacy for detox? Yeah, you can get your colon cleanse, you can get your eucarbon, you can get your senna pads, you can get your milk thistle, all of those things you can get cranberry tablets at the pharmacies. So you can get a lot of things. So it depends on what you're detoxing for. But it's best to go to health food store. All right, so all right, guys, so let's wrap it up with a few more tips that you're going to be using. So a part of our challenge to help you to lose fat is to make healthy beverage choices. Healthy beverage choices. That's a big area people fall down on. So people will tend to go for things that contain sweeteners, and to make their life a little more easier, tend to go for zero sugar drinks. So there are these zero sugar drinks on the market. They have, Coke Zero and Diet Coke, and they'll have vitamin water zero. They'll have there are lots of things that are 0 calories, zero sugar. And what they tend to have in them are artificial sweeteners. Now, while these may not contain sugar and may not spike your sugar and will not spike your insulin, studies have found that persons who drink diet drinks tend to gain weight anyway, even more than those who drink sugar. Why is that? Why would they gain weight? Well, the research shows that when you have something that is sweet, even if it's not sugar, it still gives you that dopamine response. Still get that pleasure. And your body now makes an association between sugar and pleasure even stronger. So you're more likely to cheat with actual sugar. So your brain is being wired and reinforced to love sugar. So replacing real sugar with artificial sweeteners does not get rid of your sweet tooth. It makes you more likely to be a sugar addict. And so you end up, when nobody's looking, you're gonna be cheating with sugar. In addition to that, these chemicals like aspartame and NutraSweet and Equal and Splenda, these chemicals have an effect on your brain and on your nerves. They have side effects which are negative. And you could go research and there's nothing good that you could hear. Well, you could, because when we break down the research, we find there are two sets of research. Research done by the manufacturers of these artificial sweeteners, and all the manufacturers' research say they are healthy and fine. And you have independent research done by universities and governments, and they find that there are side effects and problems. So go figure. Why would once the research says there's no problem, once the research, somebody's not telling the truth here, right? So artificial sweeteners aren't things that I recommend highly. I recommend you avoid them as much as possible. So if something is marked 0 sugar, 0 carbs, no sugar added, run from it. If you're diabetic, you see that thing they call Glucerna, which is a 0-calorie diabetic drink or no sugar. Guys, this is crazy. Do not drink that thing. Make your own. All right. So beverages that you should choose are going to be water, which most of us hate. If you're going to drink water, you want to drink it warm or room temperature, never cold. Unless, here's a trick. If you are doing 2 meals a day and you reach 8 o'clock in the night and you're hungry, the best thing to drink is some cold ice water. What it does, it constricts your stomach and gets rid of the hunger. Yeah, so ice water is recommended if you're hungry and trying to get yourself across that fasting window. But otherwise, for proper hydration, you want to drink warm or room temperature water, and you want to add things to the water if you can. So you can add salt, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, or any of your favorite fruits, even aloe vera, right? Coconut water is my favorite, hands down. It contains lots of calories in the form of fat and sugar, but it doesn't spike your sugar, not by much anyway, and it contains lots of minerals. You can also have tea, your favorite teas, green tea, whether it be, mint or ginger. Teas can have them cold or hot. These are great ways to hydrate yourself and to nourish your body. Certainly, you can also have, persons who drink coffee. That's not something that we recommend highly, disrupts your sleep. But for some people, it's a big energy boost. And, there are research now showing that coffee might have some beneficial properties. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink coffee. I'm Adventist, so we don't drink coffee, and I don't want to drink coffee. So that's not something that I'll do. But I'm saying if you're a coffee drinker, it's kind of okay when you're trying to avoid sugar to have black coffee with no sugar added. Latoya has her hand up. Go ahead.
Hi, Doc. Two questions on YouTube. Kathleen Blake, she's saying she love ice cream and also indicating what about hair loss?
Well, love ice cream. I think that if we do a poll now, 90% of persons here will say they love ice cream, right? 90% of persons here will say they love a nice egg sandwich. 90% of persons will say they love them rice and peas and chicken with some nice carrot juice, some coconut milk, or some condensed milk in it. So loving a food and eating it is not the same, right? So you can love anything you want to love, Kathleen, fine. But if you're trying to get well, it will require some discipline to be exerted, to make sure that you can resist that food until an appropriate time. And what better way to become disciplined than to have a set of accountability partners, people who are looking out for you, encouraging you. And that's what our challenge provides. That's why people are able to lose 50, 60 pounds, because they know, say, like Me, guys, I go into a store and I'm picking up groceries. Do you think I can pick up a bottle of syrup and put in my trolley? Or pick up a loaf of bread, put in my trolley? Ooh, the cashier might be on my challenge. The person behind me in the line might be in the challenge. Yo, I'm afraid. Because I know that I have people that I'm accountable to. I'm on social media. So when you become a part of our group, we are looking out for you. You can't go to certain places and certain things that we are watching. And we make sure that you are kept, on your P's and Q's. And if you're honest, you come and report that, some eat this, and then we will cuss you out and then we'll encourage you. So it's a mental game, Kathleen. We all love ice cream. So we know everyone will love ice cream. We love our grape nut and our crunchy munchy and our cookie and cream and our pistachio. We love ice cream. We love bread. We love oats, porridge with the cinnamon and nut. Yes, I love those things. But if I want to be healthy, I'm going to be disciplined enough to avoid them. And when my discipline get weak, I lean on the people who are encouraging me. So that's how we do it. It's not by you doing it alone. So, it's not going to work that way. But you're not different from us. You're not different from me. We're not because I love it. Right? We all love it. All right.
For question, Doc, what about hair loss?
Hair loss. That's a total different subject. I don't think we have the bandwidth to go into that tonight. But if you have hair loss and you want to join the challenge, we cannot promise you that the hair is gonna grow back, unless of course it's because of certain things. So their hair loss caused by autoimmune disease called alopecia areata. So as I have said, if you have autoimmune problems, we will solve it in the challenge. So if that's the cause of a hair loss, then you might find that the hair might grow back. And I've had persons say to me that my hair is better. If your hair loss is caused from stress, which is a big cause of hair loss, well, the challenge is gonna be so fun. We're gonna share so much. You're gonna make new friends. You're gonna be doing meditations in the morning, at least for 10 minutes. And that will lessen your stress and that may encourage your hair to grow back. If it's caused by a fungus in your hair, well, no, it's not gonna grow back. If it's caused by you putting in braids and pulling out the hair root, well, no, it's not gonna grow back. If it's caused by, some other issue like chemotherapy drugs, maybe, it might not solve the problem. So it depends on what the hair loss is. So I won't say broad brush hair loss is easy to solve. Some cases we will help to remedy in the challenge, but some cases we won't. So it depends on what's causing your hair loss. All right. If you have eczema or dandruff, and avoid the dairy and the bread and you do the detox, of course the hair will get better. Of course, hair will grow back. Of course, if you're deficient in biotin and vitamin E and zinc and that causes hair loss, of course it will grow back. So there are a lot of reasons to be encouraged. And I'm hoping to hear those stories as we go through the challenge. We'll hear those stories of miraculous hair growth, but it's not a miracle, it's just some simple 1 and 2 things we do. But you'll see those results. But I can't promote it unless I know exactly what's causing it. Your hair loss, Kathleen. All right.
Wendy Rowe, good night, Doc. What about monk fruit?
Monk fruit is a 0-calorie sweetener, just like stevia. So stevia is a natural sweetener that have 0 calories. Monk fruit is a natural sweetener that have 0 calories. So those are two alternatives. So here's the benefit of these. So these have no side effects. So you can have them as opposed to artificial sweeteners with no side effects. But here's what will happen. As I said before, if you have something sweet, it will reinforce your sweet addiction. Yeah? So monk fruit and stevia will make you more addicted to sweets. So you will more likely be able to cheat easier, either to cheat with a piece of cake or some ice cream or some syrup or some cranberry. You're more likely to fall when the temptation is high because your dopamine circuitry is so strong. You're so wired to love sweets. So what I'm trying to do is to get your brain to forget the connection between sweet and feel good and make a connection between something else. Yes, the smell of cinnamon, get a hit from that. The smell of mint and ginger, the taste of dark chocolate in your mouth, the taste of of Celtic sea salt in your water, the taste of lemon with some warm water. That's what I want you to be addicted to, not sweet. So yes, Wendy, and Wendy, Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow about our little business there. All right, so that's what I have to say on that. I see in our chat in our list of participants on the Zoom platform, my fitness trainer, Miss Brianna Johnson. So I want to welcome her and just invite Brianna to say hi to our people on TikTok, on Zoom, and tell them what's coming up in the fitness arena in the challenge that they can look forward to. How have we been working together, Brianna, and what we'll be doing to get them to get fit bodies? Try to put you on the spot, but you know what that's me. So Brianna, say a few words.
Spot. Good night, everyone.
We're hearing you
You guys are hearing me clearly?
clearly.
I just had to step out of the gym. So good night, everyone. So pretty much we have been working on some routines for you guys. What we have done with it, pretty much we have enabled it. Let me turn my camera on. So we have our beginner versions, we have our advanced versions. So if you're someone who don't know anything about exercise, you're just starting out, we have the beginner versions just for you. But you probably have a bad knee and you say, but why am I have my bad back? But don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself. The exercises are tailored for you as well. And now we know that we have advanced challengers. So we design the exercises as well where it's challenging for you. It's something new. So you're probably not what you're used to, but it's good for you to see, all right, it's something different from what I normally do. So that's there as well. So with our nutrition, the exercises are there to help you achieve your goals. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to tone up your muscles, we tailor the program specifically for you. So we have some fun and exciting things in store for you guys.
Awesome, thank you so much. So somebody is here asking on TikTok who's the author of the book Obesity Code. Obesity Code is written by a Chinese guy called Jason Fung. That's the author. And let me see. So I see no more questions here. All right, guys, it's minutes after 9. So I'm gonna give one final time the number. So if you wanna be a challenger, you wanna be a participant with us to change your body completely. Are you one of those persons who is just tired of being sick and tired? Do you want to have a new body? So I said earlier that persons often come to me with significant disease burdens and say, Doc, I want a new body. And they say it jokingly, but you no longer need to have that desire and think it's a joke. It can be a reality. Your body can be remade. You can get weight down, muscle up, energy level at a level you've never had it before. You can have clarity of thought. You can have normal blood sugar and blood pressure without the need to be taking artificial drugs into your system every single day. You can have normal cholesterol without having to take a statin for the rest of your life. You can have excellent joint health without needing to be taking steroids, which do not give you excellent joint, it just masks the pain anyway. You can have excellent kidney, liver, and bowel function without having to be taking antacid and Prilosec and Zantac and all of these things over and over again. These things are short-sighted approaches to dealing with a problem that has its root cause in your lifestyle. We will teach you what lifestyle changes that you need to make your body healthy, to make your body new. You want to join us? You are welcome to join us by texting NO to the number 876-583-5632. Or you can just send me a message on TikTok or on the page here. I'm gonna post in the challenge here, Latoya, the link for them to use to join the 90-day body reset program. Let me see if I can get that link here now and just put it in the chat. So persons can join. Hold on. I'm getting it up. And the person's still trying to enter the room. Oh my, they're very late. Correspond the link. So in the chat on Zoom, guys, I'm just letting these 6 persons and then I can post a link. And on TikTok, you can just WhatsApp the number 876-583-5632, and you will be able to get a response soon within the next 24 hours. That will get you to begin your journey to join the challenge. So the link is in the chat, guys. If you want to join, so Trisha, you can click the link and join the challenge. Anybody here on TikTok or on YouTube, so Lotta, you could post that link on YouTube for me too, please. Let's copy it from here and post it on YouTube, and you can definitely join. And Wendy is saying, Doc, Anya, and I lost 4 pounds in 1 week. Awesome. So that's another report just coming in. So mother and daughter doing the challenge and lost 4 pounds in 1 week. All right, so I'm gonna ask persons in the different chats to just post quickly where you're joining from. Which country in the world are you? Post in the chat on Zoom. I'm gonna call it out, call it a name, give you a shout out. Take 10 minutes to do this. If you're on TikTok, where are you joining from? And just say hi. So we get Palm Bay, Florida. That's Lenora. Peter is in Cayman Islands. Welcome. Awesome. On TikTok, I'm seeing where this now. Hold on. There's so much people. All right, so oh my God, there's so many. I cannot call so much name. Oh my God, people, come on. Yeah, man, this is Little and Cute Jamaica. Toronto, Canada is in the house. Princess Adri. Cayman Island, she is here. Brown Eyes. All right, so Maine, Connecticut in the USA. Hey guys, I might be coming to Connecticut before the year is out, so look out for that. I might be in Connecticut for a speaking engagement. Queens, New York. Queens, New York. I might be in Queens in October. Look out for that. Canada, hello. Canada, invite me now. Come on, Canada, you know, somebody invite me Canada, please. Portmore, Karen Francis, Connecticut is here on TikTok. Maine is here on TikTok. Mobay and Myanmar, Florida, New York, Jamaica. Old Harbor is here. Massachusetts is here. South Carolina, UK is here. UK late night. Barbara from New Jersey is here. All right, number again. Number is 876-583-5632. 876-583-5632. All right, so on our Zoom platform here, we're seeing even more people posting. All right, so we're seeing over here Andre Hilton, Jamaica. Barbados is here. Shanique is from St. Vincent. They're here on TikTok. All right, people. Just a few more minutes. Tortola is here. Emma is here. All right. Huntsville, Alabama is here in the house. Lucy, Jamaica is here. Regina is from Saskatchewan in Canada. All right. Sportsman, say, I'm your patient. Big up yourself. Thank you for joining. All right, people. Portmore is here in the house. That's all. Who is on YouTube? That's all what YouTube is saying.
You have persons from Turks and Caicos, Cayman.
All right, awesome. So Atlanta, Georgia, Mobay, USA, Spanish Town. All right, guys, I'm gonna log out now. Finally, please fill out the form, join the challenge. We are in for an exciting next 3 months. So I'm excited to hear what will happen to these people in the next 3 months. So take care, everybody. Have a great night. See you in the challenge in the morning. Take care.
Bye, Doc.